certainly one of the sound bites that's probably going to be getting a great deal of attention from Robert Mueller. This is what he said just a few moments ago as it related to evidence against the president. Take a listen.
We did not, however, make a determination as to whether the president did commit a crime. The introduction to the Volume 2 of our report explains that decision. It explains that under long-standing department policy, a president cannot be charged with a federal crime while he is in office. That is unconstitutional. Even if the charge is kept under seal and hidden from public view, that too is prohibited. The special counsel's office is part of the Department of Justice, and by regulation, it was bound by that department policy. Charging the president with a crime was therefore not an option we could consider.
It sounds like, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, Glenn, it sounds like the special counsel is very much leaving open the possibility that once President Trump leaves office, there could very well be some sort of indictment.
Absolutely agree with you, Craig. And I think in the near term, what he's also saying, and this was one of my top line takeaways, after he said, I am not permitted to indict the president, he went on to say that requires a process other than the criminal justice system to formally accuse a president of wrongdoing. You don't need to be Rand McNally to see that roadmap. He was virtually announcing, Congress, do your job.
Also joined now by, once again, rejoined, I should say, Barbara McQuade is with me, and so is Frank Figliuzzi. Frank, another top line, and Bob Mueller saved this to the end, perhaps wanting to remind all of us the biggest takeaway here, one of the biggest takeaways, the fact that the Russians tried on numerous occasions. In fact, I think we have the sound. Let's take a listen.
It is important that the office's written work speak for itself. Let me begin where the appointment order begins, and that is interference in the 2016 presidential election. As alleged by the grand jury in an indictment, Russian intelligence officers who were part of the Russian military launched a concerted attack on our political system. The indictment alleges that they used sophisticated cyber techniques to hack into computers and networks used by the Clinton campaign. They stole private information and then released that information through fake online identities and through the organization WikiLeaks. The releases were designed and timed to interfere with our election and to damage a presidential candidate.
Frank, it sounds like Bob Mueller is challenging Congress, challenging the White House, and challenging all of us to remember precisely what it is that the Russians did.
Bob Mueller decided to open his statement with the Russian problem, and he decided to end his statement with the Russian problem by saying it's something that all Americans should be concerned about. And if you understand Bob Mueller, if you've sat across him every morning and perhaps every afternoon, as I have as his assistant director, and you learn that he speaks in measured but clear tones and style, you understand he's saying this is a huge problem. And it's not being addressed, and every American needs to get on this and understand that this is still ongoing. That's how I read this, and his choice to start and end his statement with Russia reminds all of us that we're still not resolving this problem.
Glenn Kirshner, you also work for Bob Mueller. What you just saw and heard there from your former boss, is that what you were expecting?
Yeah, you know, that's the man Bob Mueller is. He's precise, he's factual, he's accurate. The man doesn't know the definition of hyperbole. And what he just told us, Craig, is that you have everything you need in this report to move forward and do the right thing, do justice, hold Russia accountable. I would add, hold the president accountable. And, you know, I think when he said, listen, I will not go beyond what's in my report if called before Congress. I think we all need to take that, Craig, as an affirmation that everything the American people and our elected politicians need to make their decisions and to move forward is right there in those 448 pages.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.